A package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update video for December 2019. The year's over already. A little later than normal, and yes, I've been off YouTube for a little while. I'll get straight into it. So a couple of weeks before Christmas, my wife unfortunately suffered a angina attack. So an angina attack is basically you get a blockage in one of the blood vessels leading to your heart. Your heart basically gets a cramp, and then the blockage clears, and then you're left with a bit of pain afterwards. So it's as close as you can get to a heart attack without having one. And it's still a very scary event. So we ended up in the ambulance and an emergency, and we've had follow-up tests and everything like that. And it just, it's like, a warning shot has been shot across the bow, and it makes you rethink things. So I have been definitely focusing on family and things like that lately, and actually sitting down and recording YouTube videos has been just something that I haven't had the time to look at. I've also, we did have a nice Christmas and New Year's. We hosted our family at our place on a nice long table. It was great fun. A very nice day, and lots of nice food and everything like that. Got to see all of my girls on the day as well, and they gave me quite a few nice presents as well, which I'll go through in a minute. And then we have a holiday home in, if you want to look it up, on the Tasman Peninsula down in Tasmania, at a place called White Beach, which is close to Newbina, which is also close to Port Arthur if you want to search for those things. Maybe if I'm clever in the editing, I might even put up a little map thing. Just relaxed and unwound, read some books, played some games. I've got a PS3 down at my shack. So I actually have taken my backlog of PS3 games I've never played down there, and I'm slowly working the way through it. I actually only ended up playing one game though, because I have Half-Life 2, the orange box, and I started playing that I think last time I was down there, and I still didn't actually get to finish it. So I didn't play a lot of video games. We played some board games, and my wife did some jigsaw puzzles. And then finally, after a few days of relaxed, and then I actually did some work on some code, which I'll cover a little bit later in my homebrew update section, which I always do at the end of these. So it was, some goods and some bad. I said I'm not disappearing from YouTube or anything like that. I just had to pull back a little bit, and I will be making content when I get time to make content. So always will do a monthly update video when I can, and we'll just see how we go with the other videos over the next few weeks and things like that. So wife has to have some more tests and things like that, and we're just taking things easy. Alright, so Christmas and Boxing Day pickups. In no particular order, I've just got them in. I've got a list here so I don't forget anything. And I haven't necessarily unpacked everything either, which is because I've been away at my holiday home and I didn't want to take everything there. So, from my youngest daughter, I got this nice little Avengers cup. It's always good having new coffee cups. As I haven't taken it out of the box yet. From Santa, which is my wife, I got these Star Wars socks. There's one there. Another one there. Also in addition to these, I'm not going to show, I got a bottle of alcohol, some chocolates, and some work shirts and things like that as well. Oh, I've forgotten something. Just a sec. Should be prepared, shouldn't I? From my eldest daughter, I got a Google Home Mini, which I have plugged in, played with for about 20 minutes, got it to play some music, and the sound quality is actually not too bad. And that's probably what I'll use it for, is playing music. I'm not ready to go and buy a whole lot of stuff to get a lot of other things automated. I would probably get it controlling my TV, because it's a Samsung, I believe it supports that sort of thing, but I haven't had a chance to really play with it, anything like that. So there we go, Google Home Mini, quite nice sound so far. Haven't really played it with it a lot, but it's quite an interesting thing. They also gave me some chocolates. Books, yes. So my other daughters, I've got them all completely in the wrong order. So daughter number 2 bought me these 2 great Star Wars books. I have read both of them. My favourite out of the 2 was this one. That's actually quite a good book. There's no book out for the latest movie yet, which I wouldn't mind getting when it comes out. It'd be interesting to read. I also went and saw the latest Star Wars movie, and yes, I enjoyed it. Far better than the Last Jedi, and you can probably pretty much ignore Last Jedi and quite happily watch The Force Awakens and watch the last one, and you probably wouldn't miss too much. And so I enjoyed it. More Star Warsy. Only complaint is they're probably trying to fit too much stuff into one movie. And Star Wars Last Shot, which is about Han and Lando. It's an okay book, not my favourite. The writing is a little disjointed, but it was an alright story in the end. It took me longer to read than this one because of the writing was a little bit disjointed. And from my next daughter, see, one advantage of having lots of daughters, and them being mostly grown up, and I haven't read any books by this person. Which one's the first one? So they're by Anthony Ryan. This one's called The Waking Fire. So the Draconis Memorara Book 1, and she also got me the second one. Was it The Legion Flame? I've only just started this one, so I can't really comment on what they're like, but apparently it's supposed to be quite a good, or the author's supposed to be good, and people have liked his earlier books. People I've talked to haven't actually read this newer series anyway, and they're not related, so I don't have to have read any of his early books to appreciate this one, which is good because I haven't read any of those. Now also I invited family, well, a person I've known since I went to college. Himself and his partner didn't have anywhere to go for Christmas, so we invited them around for Christmas lunch. They really enjoyed themselves, and he does some home brewing and things like that. This is home brewing of actual alcohol, so he gave me 2 very nice stouts, and he gave my wife a liqueur, I can't remember the name of it, and he also gave me these, which is a sealed pack of 5 1/4 inch floppies, and they were manufactured in 1990, so they're actually quite new stock relatively for 5 1/4 inch discs. So very, very appreciated, because I do not have a lot of 5 1/4 inch floppies, and I do have quite a few machines with 5 1/4 inch floppy drives. Most noticeable one that I got working recently was the Apple II, and that one's drive is working. I need to have a play with the BBC Micro. And of course my original Spectravideo has 5 1/4, but I do have other systems as well. There's the TS80 Model 3, we have the PET when I get that working, so having 5 1/4 inch floppies that you can use is very important. So a very nice surprise present. Also another friend dropped round at Christmas time, and his name's Brendan. Yeah, I've mentioned his name a few times in the past. He goes around a lot of garage sales and things and markets, and he gave me this. Now I wasn't a particular fan of the game because I'm not into multiplayer games, and there was hardly any single player story or anything like that, but I do like Star Wars and this sort of tactical guide, and the more important thing is it has these really nice lithograms in there. So I'm thinking of opening this and getting these lithograms out and maybe framing them. I reckon they would actually make really nice additions to the walls of my game room, because I do have a couple of Star Wars posters up, but they're not I mean, like I've actually got a Star Wars Battlefront poster up there, but they're just, you know, hanging loose, and they could do with being in proper frames and things like that. So that'd be nice when I have a gradual tidying up of the game room, which I think is the phase that I'm in at the moment, of making what I have more presentable. And changing things around. So I think I've mentioned in the past I want to redo this area where I sit here and actually play games, so the consoles are better set up and better wired, and there's room for the stereo system that I mentioned, that I picked up last month. Now also, and this is all Boxing Day sales bar one that was a present, so also from my eldest daughter, they gave me Apollo 11. Now I'm not familiar with whether this is a true just documentary or whether this is a movie. I have watched First Man, and that was quite good. I really do like space movies, so I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously Sealed, haven't had a chance to watch it. I didn't want to watch too many movies when we were down at a holiday home, because I mean, we have a flat screen TV, but we don't really have the same sort of sound system and thing that we have up here, so we didn't want to spoil any of the movies. So the only one in this pile I've actually watched is the next one. Now these are all 4Ks, but all 4K discs come with a Blu-ray as well, and I got all of these with basically money that I got for Christmas. And you know, besides the Apollo 11, which is a gift, for $105 complete, all of these. So we have Angel Has Fallen, which is the third movie in the Fallen series, and I was expecting this one to be way worse than it was. I actually quite enjoyed it. It's an okay one in the series. It's not the best movie I've watched in my life or anything like that, but it was entertaining and we enjoyed watching it. So I was actually surprised that it was we enjoyed it as much as we have. So all the rest of these ones are movies that we did not get the chance to see this year, and there was still more. I realised that we still didn't see at the pictures. So we have, this one is only just finished at the pictures, is Ad Astra, which is a space movie, so hopefully I should enjoy that. One I'm definitely looking forward to is John Wick 3. I've enjoyed the first two. And I know it's a remake, but I enjoyed the original, so this is Hellboy, the new version of that. I mean, I do really like the original, so we'll have to see how we go. And this is a movie, obviously goes back a little bit, that I still haven't seen, is Alita Battle Angel. Definitely want to watch that on my projector. Nice high resolution and everything like that. And I know a lot of people have panned this, but I'll go into it with an open mind. I have all the other X-Men movies, so I had to get this one. It's X-Men Dark Phoenix. But I haven't had many people say many nice things about this, so we'll wait and see. Surely it can't be as bad as Star Wars Last Jedi. We'll just have to wait and see how I go. Alright, so lots of pickups. Obviously not much gaming related, it's more collecting and you know, memorabilia sort of things and movies, but hey, it's retro orientated, I suppose, and science fiction and things, so beggars can't be choosers. And yeah, I have enough games to play, so I actually specifically didn't get much into games. And I've actually just remembered there is one I did actually buy myself a copy of. I know I can't even remember the name of it. The new Star Wars game. I'll insert picture here. My memory. Just having a memory moment. But the new Star Wars game. I got the PS4 version, and I don't have a PS4 down at my holiday home, so I haven't even plugged it in and played it yet. But I will soon. So that's the only game in this whole thing. But the other important thing was that I had a bit of a rest, and I finally, you know, just got to unwind a little bit and get my mind in order, and I started programming again. And I thought that I'd start with something that I knew was very close to being finished, which is Cavern Fighter for Colecovision. And yes, there will be an MSX and Spectravideo later. This is a game that I started writing in 1991 and never released back then, never finished. So the game is finally fully playable. You can play through all 6 of the levels. There's an end cavern that you have to try and complete. It now has sound effects. As far as I can tell, all the collision detection's working, the scoring working, all the bonus score works. It's got a title screen, a high score. You can select 3 levels of difficulty. The only thing I would like to add is to make the on-screen explosion and effects when you kill the end of cavern thing just a little bit flashier, and I would like some music on the title screen. But I'm happy enough that the game is at a stage where I can send it off to my beta test team, so I've sent it off to a select number of beta testers, and get them to play it as much as possible to find any bugs that I haven't found. We need to get some cover art done and the manual laid up, and then we'll be able to release it through Collectorvision as a physical cartridge. The MSX version will probably be, I'll probably get Repro Factory in Europe to do that one, because that's where the main market is. And the original Spectravideo one, I can now produce cartridges for that. I'll do a limited cartridge run, or if that's too expensive for people, maybe I will make a tape release. But the only trouble with tape release, that limits it to 3 to 8s, because I think the game would be too big for 318 users. Yeah, it probably was. So I'll probably stick to cartridges. Very limited number of people will be after the original Spectravideo version anyway, but I'll be doing that for completeness. But I have had some mad thoughts about also converting it to the SC3000 computers, and thus SG1000 machines as well. It wouldn't actually be very hard to do that. I don't have a PCB, but I'm sure I could find one. And then I'm sure my mate Klaus will pester me to see whether I could make a Memotech version as well. So I finally have finished the game, yay! Although it's not finished published, but it's playable, it's working, I'm happy with it, and yay. So the next one I'll be working on, and probably be doing some more work on that tonight, is actually my Berserk version for Colecovision. I just want to get a couple of these things tidied up and progressed, and then I can get my mind back on working on Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death, which is itself reasonably complete as well. I just need to finish more of the levels off, and do a little bit. There's a couple of little bugs and things like that in there as well. So just had a period of there. I mean, it's been over a year since I had my operation on my neck, which had dragged me down into dark places and things like that, and I've just had to get over it and get my life in order and get it to a place where I'm comfortable programming again. And I am enjoying programming, and I'm trying not to overload myself with other things. So that the one thing that may pay for that is that my YouTube output may get a little bit more random. So coupled with all the other things I've got going on, I'm just not going to commit to any particular schedule. So I'll definitely be doing these monthly updates. I will be getting back to my Let's Make a Retro Game series. I've actually written another couple of episodes. I just, it does take time to sit down and properly film those, so they're nice and clear and everything like that. But I have done most of the support material for a couple of episodes. And then of course, I've got these things behind me as well, which I love, my arcade machines. And I was very, very happy that I got my Tutankhamun Mini working. One of the number one things I do when I come in this game room is I usually play on the arcade machines. So there's always stuff to do. I'll always try and film it and show you guys. I'm just not going to guarantee or stick to any particular order at the moment. Alright, so that's probably enough rambling for this month. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to everybody who subscribes and watches my channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time.